Hello there.
Well, welcome to Your In Depth, where we walk through and break down our favorite fictional universes. Today, we're going to start off Season 2 of the Clone Wars. We'll be starting off with Episode 1, the Holocron Heist. Or actually, there's no "the" there, it's just Holocron Heist. But regardless, that, before we do get started, I haven't really seen any noteworthy Star Wars news. What about you, Evan?
Nothing new. I would just like to remind everybody that the Book of Boba Fett is coming out in December.
Yep, next month.
So it's going to be right there at the end of December. It's the 29th, I believe. 28th or 29th is the first.
29th.
The 29th is the first date for that. The date for that first episode to be released. So definitely look forward to that. I know I am. So, but other than I don't really have any news, anything new that popped up yet. So.
Yeah. And we'll be covering that when it comes out. We'll have to figure out what day we're going to release those episodes on, but we'll get back to you on that before we were to release those. But around that time, we'll start our coverage of that, hopefully doing 3 uploads a week. But again, don't know where things will lie, how things will adjust, whatever. We'll determine that later. But other than that, hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I know that I was not feeling well at the end of the day because I ate way too much, which is, I think, pretty well a requirement for Thanksgiving. But
I really didn't.
Hope you guys had fun there.
I really didn't
enjoyed
do
our last episode.
I was at work, so.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, do you want to give the little summary Disney Plus gives for Holocron Heist?
So it's 6 words.
Yeah.
And it simply says, Cad Bane infiltrates the Jedi Temple.
It should be 7 words with, again, at the end. Because we left off Season 1 with him breaking in and taking senators hostage in order to free Zero the Hutt.
Yeah, I think that one was specifically the Senate building, and this is specifically the Jedi Temple. I guess
it is separate. I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
because Senate building, council, or temple, but
yeah. And last episode,
he's infiltrating everything.
Last episode, when we got introduced to Cad Bane, I even said, "Remember this character, remember him." So again, remember Cad Bane. Even after we finish this episode, remember Cad Bane.
But anyway, the quote that it gives is, "A lesson learned is a lesson earned." And then we get a little bit of setup by the narrator voice that just says, "Jedi trapped on Felucia. Clones are surrounded by droid forces. Their only hope is to escape on Republic gunships waiting to land on the embattled surface. Jedi cruisers have managed to blow a hole in the droid defenses and have sent gunships to the rescue." And
all right, Jacob, I have the episode right here playing. You were literally in sync with the narrator that whole time.
You got to start recording on your end. I would love to hear the audio line up there because you've said that a couple of times now. So why don't you screen record from here on out? Because holy cow! All right, because I'd love to hear how that sounds. Like especially if it is I feel like I don't have the same mannerisms or way of speaking that Tom Kane does for the intro. But still just hearing it, it'd be fun. I don't know. At least for me.
Yeah, there was 1 or 2 words that were slightly off, but almost the whole time it was right in sync with each other.
Anyway, we open the episode and it kind of gives some flashes here and there, scenes in line with what was just said. But then we enter in with Plo Koon and a fleet fighting off some droids in the skies. They're doing some aerial battles. Then on Felucia, we see Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting off some droids on the ground. Obi-Wan starts to prepare troops to evacuate, and in comes some LAAT gunships, which that's the correct one for those, right? LAAT?
Yeah.
And they begin to load up. They radio Ahsoka, trying to figure out where she is because they need to leave. This is not going too well. And she is apparently 6 clicks east. They order her to fall back and board the gunship when it gets there, but she's very argumentative, saying no, we're almost to win. Like, we're just about to win. We got this. Just give me a little more time.
Yeah.
But they basically are like, no, you listen now, get on when we pull in. This is not good.
Basically, like,
kind of.
And because Ahsoka at this point, she's very like, I guess narrow. She's not seeing the big picture, right? She's focused on this one particular battle that she is fighting, and as far as she can tell, she's winning. Like she's pushing the droids back. She's on the offensive. Whereas Anakin and Obi-Wan are purely on the defensive. Like they're getting pushed back. And
their battle is part of the same war, and is going a lot more poorly than how hers is, and she's not seeing the whole picture, which mostly is how theirs is going.
Yeah, and Anakin and Obi-Wan, obviously they've been fighting longer than Ahsoka in terms of the whole Clone Wars as a whole, and so it's easier for them to see the big picture. And especially after the gunships land and pick up Anakin and Obi-Wan and their clones, they start, they take off and leave, and they see this huge droid army marching on Ahsoka's position. They got a higher vantage point. They can see what's about to happen. But again, as far as Ahsoka's aware, she's winning. Like she's pushing this assault force back. The force is attacking her. But she doesn't see that they're about to be reinforced, and she's about to get her kicked in.
Yeah.
But
I'm making a note.
Yeah, the gunships, get to Ahsoka's position, and they notice that Ahsoka's not stopping. Like she's still pushing the advance. And so they order the gunships to land in front of her to cut her off, and order her back on, like to get on the gunships now as their clones hold off the droids. The droids are falling back, but they're still fighting. Right,
and slightly before this, Obi-Wan was radioing her, and she was, obviously being a bit like she was fighting the order. I don't know the correct
she was disobeying his orders. Like he's ordering her that they're leaving, and she's just like no.
Basically, but when Obi-Wan says this, Anakin kind of is like, kind of looks like what's going on, and Obi-Wan says that she's following Anakin's teaching very well, and he's like, well, is she winning? Like, kind of like, yeah, but really, really, what's the point of this? Like,
and I mean,
I don't know, when
it comes to Anakin though, you like, and we've seen it, and we will see it more. He'll disobey a direct order if it means he can win. If he can get the objective completed, he'll disobey an order to do it.
But this was just kind of funny. But yeah, they demand that she gets on the ship as they come in, and eventually she does. And as they're flying away, isn't it that where she was just gets exploded, and she sees all the droids that were coming in? She kind of sees the full picture finally, like, oh. Yeah,
so, the gunships are up in the air, leaving now, and she looks down, and it gives us a view of the whole area, and droids were actually surrounding her on all sides. Like, she was about to be surrounded and just annihilated. But she was too focused on the small battle or the small engagement directly in front of her that she didn't realize what was actually going on. It was kind of like you see it in combat sometimes, or in like wars and stuff like that. Like a force will fall back where someone that's not quite as experienced will see it as retreating, but in truth, it's like a tactical withdrawal to get to a better spot or to bring them into a trap. Or anything like that. And that's basically what the droids were doing there. They engaged, they started pulling back to pull Ahsoka in, where they had much larger forces moving around to completely surround her. And again, she was too narrow-sighted in this instance to realize that.
But anyway, we cut ahead to the council talking to Ahsoka, saying like, she disobeyed orders, she was acting this way, whatever. And she does agree that the report that they received is accurate, and she admits that she was wrong. Anakin also takes responsibility, just saying that he gave her too much power when she wasn't really ready. But But Mace Windu then appoints her guard duty in the library to kind of make up for that and be like, okay, you're going to be off of the battlefield for a little while, and we'll put you there.
When Ahsoka even says, like, it wasn't that she was trying to disobey orders. She just got too into the moment,
Yeah.
Like we were saying as those events were happening. She was too into the moment. She didn't see the big picture, and now, she admits that she was wrong.
Yeah.
And like you said, Anakin takes some of the blame as well. Like, I've given her too much freedom. I haven't really been. I guess I've been kind of like I've been teaching her some of the wrong things, and I gave her too much freedom with those wrong things.
Yeah.
And like, which I think is admirable of Anakin, because he easily could have said nothing and let her take the full blame for it. But I mean, with us knowing Anakin, like, let's be real, what Ahsoka did is definitely following Anakin's teachings.
Yeah.
Like, that is definitely an Anakin thing to do.
Is it okay? Well, I mean, okay. She's waiting on me to get done so we can get going over to dinner. So yeah, we're definitely almost done.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so who gets assigned to the guard duty in the library, like you said, and Anakin takes her and introduces her to Acosta Noon?
Jocasta Nu,
Costa, not Acosta.
a.k.a. librarian that is old as dust.
Yeah.
She's the super old Jedi stuff.
And I've talked about her a little bit before, like in one of the comics. Like she's one that took Padawans and and younglings out of the Jedi Temple during Order 66, and later got hunted down by Darth Vader in some comics. But for those as well, she is the one that in Attack of the Clones, when Obi-Wan is looking for Kamino, she's if it's not in our records, it doesn't exist. That's her.
Yeah, kind of like stuck up, But yeah, her.
She is a Jedi Master, though, for I guess a little bit. She is a Jedi Master, and I do think at one point she sat on the Jedi Council. But now
too
she's
bad for her hips.
It's now she's just in charge of like the archives and like preserving the knowledge of the Jedi and all of that. And because like I said, I'm pretty sure she was on the Jedi Council at one point. But besides, I think Yoda's and Mace Windu's positions on the Jedi Council, besides those two positions, the rest of the Jedi Council has like term limits. Basically, like they're on there for X amount of time, and then they leave, and then someone else gets appointed to that position. So it's very interchangeable throughout all the Jedi Masters. But anyways,
she does give Ahsoka a tour, stressing the importance of the holocrons being guarded, as they hold very sensitive information.
Yeah.
We then cut to a dim lit apartment on Coruscant. I don't know. I looked at it and I was like, where's the emphasis going? And I couldn't get it right in my, I had a major brain fart there.
Yeah.
But anyway, and Cad Bane is talking to Darth Sidious, who is, hologram form, and is looking to hire Cad Bane's services. He says that he wants a Jedi holocron, which will require him to break into the Jedi Temple. Cad Bane makes demands and says basically this isn't an easy task, all this stuff, I need this, this, and this, and this. And also his rate is 3 times the normal rate.
Yeah.
And he agrees.
Yeah.
He's like, money's not going to be an issue for this one.
When it comes to Jedi holocrons, right, and Jocasta even kind of briefly mentions it to Ahsoka, Jedi holocrons are kept under, I guess for a lack of a better term, lock and key. Only Jedi Masters are the only ones allowed to go review holocrons, and even then some of those holocrons are forbidden to them as well because of the knowledge that those holocrons have. And so a Jedi Master, a Jedi has to have the strength with the Force to unlock the door itself that they're behind. And so it's not just breaking into the temple and stealing a book off one of those shelves. It's he has to get into a place where you have to be a Jedi Master to be able to access. You know, so like security is going to be super high, even more so than the rest of the temple. And you're like all the knowledge that's in there. You know, it's like to say this is going to be a difficult task is an understatement.
Yeah. But we cut ahead to Yoda, who says he has felt a disturbance in the Force, and he knows that there's going to be intruders. We then cut back to Cad Bane, who is making adjustments on a droid, who is voiced by Seth Green, also known as Chris from Family Guy, though not the same voice, just his normal voice. But I just think that's funny. I think that this droid's kind of goofy and funny. But his name is Toto, and he's basically a butler droid.
Yeah.
He's what does he keep introducing himself as? He's like I am a something technician droid or like something like that.
Let's see. Let me find
technical maintenance droid, maybe.
I'm trying to see if it pops up here.
I'm just gonna look it up on Wikipedia.
Yeah. But regardless, Cad Bane is putting something in this like little storage spot on his back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, claiming that he's doing maintenance on him because he's had a memory crash, and he's like, I haven't had a memory crash. Oh my goodness! How would I know?
Yeah, techno service droid.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyways.
Sorry.
There's a buzzer at the door, and Cad Bane tells Toto to go answer the door. And we see, I think it's another changeling. So like that bounty hunter from Attack of the Clones, right there in the beginning, that Anakin and Obi-Wan are after.
The original Leatherface.
Yeah, the one that's trying to kill Padme in that movie.
Not really, but
right there at the beginning. It's another one of that species.
Right. Can change forms, alter their disguise, stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, and Cad Bane shows her a picture of a Jedi there in the temple. He's basically using her to help him infiltrate the temple because she will appear as a Jedi and she can change her form.
Yeah, she's going to she's going to disguise herself as a Jedi who we see is dead. He's over there in that apartment, just dead. She's going to use that as a model to go in. The Jedi Master's name is Orn Innocence, which I did do some research on, and he actually has no significance whatsoever.
Yeah.
This is the only time he's mentioned.
I didn't think he did. I didn't recognize him at all.
No. Yeah, I had to look it up just to see if there was any significance. And
he's just some random Jedi there in the temple, you know?
Pretty much, yeah. But the changeling touches the body and transforms, even changing her voice. The disguise almost looks like a holographic transition, though. If I didn't see that right, I don't think it is, but it looked odd to me because I thought it was like a physical change.
So I think her body itself does the physical change, but there's like a hologram of the clothes because when she touches him, she changes in to look like him, but the clothes change too. So I think the hologram part of it is the clothes, whereas the rest of like herself actually like morphs into appear like that Jedi.
Possibly, yeah. But anyway, we cut to Obi-Wan and Anakin talking about what the intruders could want, and through some talking, they figure out that probably information, and they think it may be the transmitter codes. We then cut to Ahsoka, who approaches the changeling, now in form of Orn Innocence, and she asks if she can help him with anything. Changeling, that's disguised, says no nicely, and then eventually she's like, well, I'm kind of like bored here, like continuing to push, and he like turns and like scolds her. He's like, listen, I said no, basically.
Yeah.
Which is kind of odd, but she's just like, man, I can't get anything right today.
Yeah. And we do also see Cad Bane moving up the side of the Jedi Temple as well, getting position. But I did want to just kind of elaborate a little bit with Anakin and Obi-Wan, thinking about like information possibly being stolen. And the transmitter codes, again, like you just got to remember that, you know, the Republic's at war, the Jedi are part of that war. And so whenever it comes to any sort of scheme or, you know, infiltration or anything like that, like their first thought is going to go to the Separatists. What are the Separatists trying to get a hold of, type of deal. So just kind of something to kind of keep in mind. That's where, and you will see it in later episodes and stuff too. Whenever whether it be an assassination or an attempted assassination or an infiltration, stealing information, anything like that, their first thoughts, whether it be Anakin or Obi-Wan or Mace Windu or whoever, their first thought is, what are the Separatists trying to get from this?
But as Ahsoka gets scolded, we see Jocasta in the background, and she kind of looks over like, I don't know, it's kind of like almost seeming like something's off there, but nothing really happens there. We see the changeling get onto a computer and start basically looking into the system and hacking or whatever. We then cut again to Yoda, Anakin, and Obi-Wan, who are talking of intruders being there, like they've arrived. And they figure out that the intruders would probably be in the central ventilation system. Yeah,
because basically what happened is Cad Bane, it cuts to him for like a brief 3 seconds. Again, he's still on the outside of the temple, but his little droid Toto uses some sort of, I don't know if it's like a disruption thing or what exactly, but he makes a hole in like this shielding on the outside of the temple that for Cad Bane to fly into. And there where Anakin and Obi-Wan and them are sitting, they have almost like a power flux, like computer screens shut down for a quick second and then come back up.
Yeah. So they piece it together. That's probably where they're at.
Yeah.
And then we cut ahead to. I lost my place. Hold on.
Yeah. So it cuts back to Cad Bane.
Right, and that's exactly where they're at.
Yeah, it cuts to Cad Bane. He's in a ventilation system there in the temple. And, again, I think it's the droid uses some, another, oh crap, I accidentally went back. Let me jump ahead real quick. But they use something to stop the fan there in the temple in that specific ventilation area. So he and the droid can move further down, and it stops all the fans there in that section. It jumps back over to the changeling, telling him that, there's like a failsafe in there, and so the fans turn back on. And it's kind of jumped back and forth between the changeling and Cad Bane, as Cad Bane is making his descent, and the changeling's, giving them information. And then there's a security safeguard in there, and the fans turn back on, pulling Cad Bane and the droid towards one of them. Changeling is able to stop it in time, and they continue their descent down to he calls it a shaft, but it's basically like another part of the ventilation system. And they continue on. And it cuts to the changeling, though, and Jocasta comes up and starts talking to him, saying that, like, the temple's on high alert, like, you shouldn't be here. And he knocks her out.
Yeah.
Straight on headbutt, knocks her cold.
Yeah, he yeets Grandma Jocasta.
Yeah. And then he, touches her arm and shapeshifts into her. It goes and shows Cad Bane still moving through these ventilation systems and reaching a vent where they see some, security lasers in place.
Yep. Oh, you were cutting out a little bit because Discord, and it finally just caught up, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I look over to you, and you're just kind of like waiting for a response. So it was delayed, and then it caught up all at once, and I thought you were still talking, and I look over and realize no. Anyway, the changeling, by the way, its name is Kato, something or another. We learned that, but Obi-Wan and Anakin are kind of following along in the ventilation, looking for intruders. Cad Bane is aware of this. Yoda figures out that they're probably receiving assistance from the inside. We cut to Ahsoka, who receives this information, and then goes over to find Jocasta, finding Kato, but confronts her, and then they begin to fight with lightsabers.
Yeah.
Through this fight, it's just, it's an action scene. So once again, with our coverage of it, it's just pretty point to point, cut and dry.
I mean, it's fairly one-sided anyways. Like for obvious reasons, Ahsoka is much better skilled with the lightsaber,
But as the changeling is running away, Ahsoka force pulls a chair in front of her, just trips her, knocks her over, and then runs over and puts her at saber point. And then Ahsoka radios in and informs them that the intruders are in the Holocron vault. Because she got the information.
She even makes a comment too, like, you may look like Jocasta, but you don't have her skill.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the whole fight there was completely one-sided. Like, Ahsoka on the offensive the whole time, easy peasy. But it does jump back over to Cad Bane and his little droid, and they're starting to, try and, I don't know, like override a security system while the droid is, cutting a hole there where they're at to get into the vault.
And Cad Bane sets off a bomb, kind of I think he blows a hole in the side, but also kind of distracts them. Obi-Wan and Anakin approach and take off to go to the communication center. As they leave, Cad Bane steps out and goes into the vault, and he grabs a holocron and goes to leave. Toto enters into a room where Mace Windu and some others are in there, and he sees all the Jedi, and then he's like, oh, I just was fixing this, or something, and tries to leave, but the back of his head starts beeping because of that thing that Cad Bane put in there. And then he explodes as Mace pushes him back into the vent,
right where
getting him out of their way,
right where Anakin and Obi-Wan are standing. And so Anakin and Obi-Wan quickly run around the corner there. Mace has pushed the vents themselves back into place as it goes off, and it shows Ahsoka has arrested, like we saw before, the intruder as Jocasta is kind of coming to, and she sees Ahsoka with the intruder. We do see a robed figure watching them as well, and we do see that it's Cad Bane as he's leaving the Jedi Temple through the library.
Yeah, and the changeling, is being escorted to jail, but he mentions the name Bala Rapal, who, as we learn, it's like, who is that? There's a lot of question there, and they end up being, I forget who does the informing, but they are the keeper of the kyber crystal, which the data on a kyber or this crystal is only able to be read by a holocron, right?
Yeah, and so Bala Rapal is a Jedi that's Cad Bane's next target.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mace Windu says he's the keeper of the kyber crystal, that it's the only thing that can read the data on the holocron. And we learned that the holocron is it stores the information for future younglings. It has a list of names for Force-sensitive children across the galaxy. The Jedi are interested in to potentially become younglings and then Padawans and Jedi in their own right.
Yeah. But they realize what's at stake, and they set out to find Cad Bane and Bala Rapal. And there's the end of our first episode. We do have an ad read, and then we'll have our sponsor, and then we'll get back and get into speeding along through the next episode. Are you in need of service? Does the tasks of everyday life get you down? Check out Toto 360's well-rounded set of services for hire via a monthly rate. This holiday season, use code TD360 for 60% off of your first month. That's an explosive deal. Anyway, well, we are resuming our coverage of episodes 1 and 2. I feel like I need to do a little bit of a disclaimer because we've had a 2-week kind of pause for our Star Wars coverage. The reasoning being we covered, each episode we covered 2 Clone Wars episodes and now 2 weeks ago. We were recording and I needed to get going, and then I had a wedding that weekend and just a whole bunch of stuff going on, and we just weren't able to get our recording in. But here we are. We're going to continue. Now, you guys, if you've listened up until this point, it's like, I mean, I probably didn't even need to say anything. They're just like, oh, they'll be late. But
well,
I feel like I owe a little bit of an explanation there, But anyway, so yeah, we got our next episode. What?
Yeah.
It's titled Cargo of Doom.
So this episode is a part of a 3-episode arc, by the way. So episodes 1, 2, and 3 all go together.
Yeah. So we're right in the middle.
Yeah. So our next Star Wars coverage will be episodes 3 and 4. But just remember, and I'll say it again at that point, just remember that episode 3 of season 2 is part of the whole arc of these 2 that we've covered for this episode. But the little description here on Disney Plus for episode 2 is Anakin and Ahsoka intercept Cad Bane's warship.
Yep, and our good old beloved narrator reads, Stolen secrets. Villainous mercenary Cad Bane was hired by Darth Sidious to steal a holocron from the vaults of the Jedi Temple. After fleeing the scene of the crime, Bane hunted down and captured Master Bala Rapal, who has a crystal which holds the secrets of the Jedi Order. As a separatist fleet arrives to help the bounty hunter, Anakin Skywalker races in to cut off their escape and stop Bane from delivering the stolen holocron.
Do you have the
quote?
Quote, yes.
I do. I guess that, in the order of things. Well, I guess in the order of things, it's out of order. But
I just want to make sure, because usually you do the quote before the... Anyways, please go ahead.
You're right. I just had it out of order in my notes. But
You're
no, the quote for
man.
It's not hard. The quote we get for the episode is, overconfidence is the most dangerous form of carelessness.
Yeah.
And, then we begin.
So don't be overconfident, you little...
Yeah, don't be cocky, you... I don't know. I'm editing. That's just, yeah.
Editing what?
Anyway.
Sounded great.
I don't know if I'll do that, but either way. We start up, we enter the scene, and Anakin and Admiral Yularen are in battle. They're destroying a separatist ship. They are then informed of Rapal being taken, and the clone that informs him of this, because he's like radioing in from like their ground battle.
Yeah, it's a little holocron thing.
Hologram thing, man.
Gram, ma'am.
Holocrayon.
Fam.
Holocrayon. There we go.
Ram.
But anyway, the clone that... Are you still on this, bud?
Clam.
Anyway,
Sam.
so the little Instagram guy says... he informs Anakin and Admiral Yularen of this, and he gets killed, and it kind of looks like a really messed up way. Like he almost gets like his throat slit or something. I don't know. It just looks like, oh god, and then it's just we don't see it, but it just like fades out.
All right, let's see what you're talking about here. Boy. Oh yeah, droid heckin' grabs him from behind, and then we don't see nothing.
Yeah.
So it's very possible that droid was just like snap neck.
Yeah, just tore his head off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does jump over to what's his name? Jedi what? Nepal?
Bala Rapal.
Close enough.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna call him Jedi Nepal because I'm not gonna remember that name.
Just think of, yeah, whatever.
But we see him on the separatist ship as it's leaving the planet, and we see him being quote unquote escorted, more or less dragged by 2 super battle droids.
Oh yeah.
As they kind of throw him into I don't know what you'd call that. Kind of like I'm trying to think. Like in medieval times, they had like the 2 like manacles hanging from the wall, and like they like put your arms in and hold you up there, right?
Oh yeah,
but no, like this is like futuristic with like
right. He's placed into a force field type restraint. It's like his arms are raised up above him.
But yeah, he's restrained, and so there's 2 Magna Guards in there with him, and they're using their little Magna staffs with the electrical sides on each end to essentially torture him to get the information they're looking for.
Yeah, they're torturing him.
In other words, the crystal that he has to read the holocron.
Right. But the Separatist command ship that he's on begins to escape. The Republic ship disables the Separatist hyperdrive and plan to board the ship. They're going to use, they kind of formulate a plan. They're going to use these walker tanks to jump down and board as these things are pressurized and have magnetic feet. So it's like completely possible to do.
Well, and because they have to do it this way too, because on the cruiser, this cruiser they're in, it's not outfitted with like very many fighters
boarding
or like gunships and whatnot. It's more along the lines of
any other method that they were to board that ship, they don't have
the ship is kind of outfitted for like go into the ground and then drop off the tanks type deal instead of like sending them in with gunships. And so like you said, like they don't have enough crafts to really drop off their ships or drop off their tanks or board the enemy ship, any of that type of stuff. So Anakin's using one of his very outside the box plans to get aboard the Separatist ship.
We see Cad Bane continue to torture Bala Rapal, or bowling ripples. I don't know. Electrocuting him, straight up killing him. Like he electrocutes him till he dies. So Jedi Master Bouncer Nipples is dead.
Jedi Nepal is dead.
The Republic, like the up above, they drop walkers onto the Separatist ship. Anakin and Ahsoka have some sort of bubble helmet on that they are able to exit those things and start fighting off droids on top of the other ship.
If I'm not mistaken, that's what the Jedi use when they like fight underwater. But I mean, I guess it's pressurized for underwater, so why wouldn't it work for in space? Like if they're going deep underwater, it's got to be able to withstand that pressure. So why wouldn't it work out in space as well, type of deal,
Yeah, suppose.
But
though the breathing system is probably different because underwater it'd probably convert. I'm thinking too much into it, but
no, it's just oxygen tanks.
It looks the same.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh, maybe it is just that.
I think it's just oxygen tanks.
Anyway, but Cad Bane awaits them because he wants to capture them so he can open the holocron.
Yeah.
He then orders the droids to initiate self-destruct and memory wipe. So he's like, all right, don't want to leak any sort of information. Just do that. Go ahead.
At one point, too, I think I don't know where it's at in this whole Time Lord thing, where you're at least per your notes. But it does show, I think it kind of goes back and forth, showing Cad Bane talking to Newt Gunray. Because we find out
Guppy
that
boy.
He got these Separatist ships from Newt Gunray, and Mr. Newt is whining and complaining about losing some battleships and whatnot. It's kind of just like a side thing where it just I think it's just kind of there for Cad Bane to be like, yeah, I got both, just to confirm for the viewers type deal. But regardless, he basically tells Newt Gunray that like, hey, once we get the information, my benefactor or Darth Sidious will reward you handsomely type deal. Basically saying, stop your whining.
Yeah. But the Republic enters in to where we see they enter in the bridge, I want to say, and a droid pleads not to be shot. He's like, don't shoot me, I'm not the commander, he is. And then that guy gets shot, and he's like, wait, now I'm the commander, and then he gets shot. Anakin finds out that Cad Bane has both parts to access the information, and he orders clones to not allow anyone off of that ship. Ahsoka, meanwhile, commands R2 to go find Bouncer Nepal, Bala Rapal. Meanwhile, an engine explodes.
Yeah.
Ahsoka and Anakin are searching, and they find Rapal's body.
I was about to say too, because Admiral Yularen even contacts them and tells them that it looks like one of the engines is pretty badly damaged.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they already found Master Nepal's body, and Ahsoka. Did you already say this? I missed what you said. Ahsoka's kind of talking with Anakin about just letting the holocron get destroyed in the ship.
Oh, that one I did. No, I did not comment on that.
Okay,
no.
Yeah. But yeah, Ahsoka's just like, if we let it get destroyed in the ship, then, they can't get it type of deal. But Anakin's more along the lines of like, no, I mean, we could do that, but like, probably better if we return it to the temple. Like, for once in his Jedi career, he's like, let's do the right thing.
Yeah.
Or I guess the writer thing. Because I guess their main thing is just not letting the Separatists have it. But even better would be to bring it back. But as long as the Separatists don't get it, they still win. I don't know. He's taking a very Obi-Wan approach to this and not an Anakin approach to it. It's really throwing me off.
Yeah. But they push onward after seeing Rapal's body. They run after Cad Bane, who leads them to an army. They begin to fight. The gravity is disabled. What are you laughing about? Because
I have the episode playing, right?
Uh-huh.
And right before they get to the fight, because the power's gone off in the ship, it shows Anakin and Ahsoka walking, and it shows like Rex and a couple of the clones behind them, walking behind them. And Rex just smacks his head on a freaking tube that's sticking out into the hallway.
Yeah, and then they go night vision.
Ugh. And all the clones start laughing at it.
But anyway, yeah, they start fighting. The gravity is disabled, so they start like floating around. The clones start to begin. They enable magnetics on their feet, so they're actually able to stay put. They continue to fight. Anakin always Anakin almost gets the holocron, but then gravity comes back on and he falls.
Yeah,
so
I do think it's important to point out as well where they're fighting in the ship. Because it's not just like in the corridors, right? It's down there on like the gun deck where all of the Separatist ship's cannons are at, with like these big belts feeding rounds to the cannons. So like pretty volatile environment.
Yeah, a lot of explosives.
Like one stray blaster bolt might just go boom.
Yeah. You just take a look at your waveform when you did that.
Oh yeah, that was I thought you
I saw you go kaboom, and you looked over like immediately to see what it looked like. But anyway, Cad Bane gets the holocron, and then he takes off running. Ahsoka chases after him, and Anakin calls after her, saying it's a trap. Like, stop it! Don't do that. Stay here.
Yeah.
But she keeps going
and
fights Cad a little bit before he stuns her. Go ahead.
And throughout the fight too, as Anakin and Ahsoka are trying to get the holocron and whatnot, it does show one droid that's already been destroyed. But it gets hit again by like a stray bolt, and it does knock one of those explosive canisters out of the belt. So it's kind of just floating in the middle of the battlefield, kind of pointing towards a kaboom.
Yeah.
Sorry, proceed.
But anyway, he ends up stunning her. Anakin has been trapped under some rubble, and he ends up working his way out. Because it all exploded, didn't it? Not yet. Some of it did, though, so some stuff fell down.
Yeah, there was an explosion, so some of the rubble fell, and looks like it blocked Let me see if I can get exactly what it blocked. Yeah, because it shows this droid marching forward, shooting at the clones, and he steps on another droid head and just slips and blasts the canister. But yeah, the rebel falls like on Anakin as he was attempting to cut through the door that closed behind Ahsoka chasing Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Gosh dang it, I'm dropping everything. I'm pretty sure all those noises got recorded by the mic as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's funny. But he works his way out from under the rubble that fell on him, and he calls for Ahsoka over the radio. Meanwhile, Admiral Yularen warns Anakin about the ship he is on as it's tearing itself apart. He then says, why... Oh, yeah. He, comments to himself, Admiral Yularen does, and he's like, why did I have to be paired with Skywalker? He just causes everything to be more stressful. Come on.
Yeah, well, and I mean, if I'm not mistaken, throughout the Clone Wars, a lot of admirals feel that way about the Jedi they're assigned to, especially ones that kind of act along the same lines as Anakin. Because most admirals and ship captains and whatnot during the Clone Wars were admirals or captains or whatever other ranks they have before the Clone Wars of their own ships, and now they have to listen to Jedi, and especially if you get one like Anakin who likes to be wonky and crazy and unorthodox.
But anyway, Cad has Ahsoka on the other side of an airlock, basically saying, when Anakin approaches, he basically says, open the holocron or she's going to fly out into space. She's going to die. I'm going to eject her out there.
Basically gives him a... What's it called? Something catch. Like a 22 cat? No, 20...
That sounds familiar, but I have absolutely no idea.
I'm trying to think what it's called. I'm drawing a blank now, but basically it's like a lose-lose situation. So
catch
either...
22?
Yes, thank you.
Catch
22.
Know,
yeah, it's catch 22. So basically either A, Anakin opens the holocron and gives Cad Bane his information, but Ahsoka dies. Or no, sorry. Either he does not open the holocron and Ahsoka dies. If he does open the holocron, Ahsoka lives, but Cad Bane gets the information. So it's a...
Yeah, so basically he's choose your end to bite into the sandwich.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, catch-22 was the term I was looking for. I just had it backwards.
Gotcha. But yeah, so Anakin complies with him because he doesn't want Ahsoka to die.
Yeah, he's doing that thing that Jedi shouldn't do, which is form attachments.
Yeah. What if he did just be like, no, go screw yourself? It's like the whole Dr. Evil thing. That's fine. Kill the little see if I care. You know?
Jacob, that was spot on. What the hell?
Anyway,
I'm just imagining in this instance of all the Jedi that we get introduced to in Star Wars, I'm trying to think of one that would just be screw it, let her die type of deal.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be Ki-Adi-Mundi.
I could see him being that way.
Because I'm not going to go into it now because that's way off topic, but I'll basically just say he's compared to normal people, right? In the terms of how they think of others, he's not right in the head. He's totally about oh, they died, it was the will of the Force. Oh, this person's dead, will of the Force. That person's dead, will of the Force.
Oh.
Yeah, but he doesn't view loss of life as a terrible loss or a bad thing. He just views it as will of the Force. Will of the Force this, will of the Force that, will of the Force this, will of the Force
basically,
the other.
So
he would totally be yeah, screw it, Ahsoka, go die. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm just picturing him in this situation, and Cad Bane's just open the holocron or she dies, or whatever. I wish I could do that rumble that he does with his voice. I love that. He's just yeah, it's obviously impossible because whatever. Or maybe, I don't know. But he's just, Cad Bane's like, open the holocron or she dies, and Ki-Adi-Mundi's basically, he just like replies, he's like, it be what it be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That took a long
that
time.
Phrase
that phrase but,
is like the epitome of Ki-Adi-Mundi. Of like the smallest thing all the way to the largest thing, like, it be what it be, it do what it do.
Well, anyway.
So like I say it'll buff all the time.
Yeah, you do.
He lives by that phrase.
Yeah, your phrases are it be what it be, it do what it do. What was the other one? What was the most recent one you just said?
It'll buff.
It oh yeah, it'll buff. And then you'll have that in the big jobs.
And then the fourth one, tomato potato.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. But anyway, so Anakin opens the holocron to save Ahsoka. Meanwhile, the clones continue to fight. The ship continues to destroy itself, burning closer. Like there's a fire going, it burns closer to just a stack of explosives. So literally a time bomb.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anakin opens, like I said, the holocron. Cad Bane combines the two, gets them combined, and then Anakin attacks him, but Cad runs off. Anakin then he saves Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
Some clones.
Yeah, well, because to clarify on the saves Ahsoka part, right? Because once Cad Bane combines the crystal with the holocron, he gets the list he needs. And Anakin attacks. Cad Bane opens the airlock to suck Ahsoka out into space.
Yeah,
and so
he does, and
Anakin
but there's
has
enough
to,
oxygen that she doesn't just die immediately.
Anakin has to do. I'm trying to think. So like he hits a button to try and close the airlock, and then he like grabs Ahsoka before she gets sucked out because she loses her grip on the wall she was holding.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I wanted to clarify on, because like if you go from combines the holocrons, Anakin saves Ahsoka. Saved her from what?
Well, I mean, we previously said that she's in the thing, but I didn't stress the kind of danger that she was in right there. But some clones corner Cad Bane. Meanwhile, Anakin and Ahsoka run to the hangar thing, to a hangar. Though Anakin tries to chase after Bane before being reminded of patience by Ahsoka. He tries to chase after Bane when they're like, no, or Ahsoka's like, no, we got to get off this ship. Leave him.
Yeah, and the clones
and Anakin's like, fine.
Yeah, the clones have secured I'm trying to think of what it's called, but it's just like a small separatist transport ship. Like you see Count Dooku use them a lot. Just like a small, I'd say probably like 10-man little ship. But the clones have secured that to escape.
But they pick up. When they're leaving to go, a clone joins them who has been shot. So they zoom off. The ship explodes. Anakin kind of feels off about it. He says, "Though Cad is dead, I still feel him." Like he's like, something just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, because we see Cad Bane. It shows the clone trooper and Cad Bane kind of fighting up on like a walkway, and then we see the trooper shoot Cad Bane, and see Cad Bane fall down dead.
Right.
Dead. But then the trooper, like you said, they get him on board, and they take off.
Yeah.
But like you said, like Anakin's still sensing Cad Bane, so he's really confused because he literally just watched this clone kill Cad Bane, so it's kind of throwing him off a little bit.
Yeah. But they go off. They end up landing on the Republic ship. And Anakin talks to Admiral Yularen, who calls the mission Anakin's normal version of success.
Yeah. Well,
and then that's pretty well the end of the episode.
Well, and because it shows us the Separatist ship one last time, and because we saw a little spot where that fire had finally reached the canisters and exploded, and so Anakin's typical end to a mission, something blows up. I mean, and the ship breaks into a bunch of different pieces and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I would say leave off this episode with the clone that had killed Cad Bane kind of walks off by himself as the rest of the clones start to depart. And Anakin speaks with Admiral Yularen.
Yeah. And there's the end of the episode.
And I know they gave that clone a name, but I'm drawing a blank on what it was. I think it's a one-time mention of his name, but I don't remember what it was. And I'm not going to try and sift through the whole episode to find it.
Yeah,
that's fair. He is another quote-unquote named clone, but it's a one-time thing. You see him once, I think, and that's it. Type of deal.
Yeah. But that's the end of our coverage of episodes 1 and 2 of the Clone Wars, season 2 of the Clone Wars. Better yet, if you want to hear more of us and more of the stuff that we cut out of these episodes, make sure to head on over to Patreon, support us there. We post our uncensored episodes there, so you get the good. Let me see here. 31 minutes and 13 minutes before we actually start the recording.
Yeah, there was plenty of stuff for this one.
Yeah, our last one, though, the one that we recorded friggin' 2 weeks ago, the intro timestamp is 31 minutes and 45 seconds. Just so you know that. Either way, plenty of extra, just goofy, stupid conversations that we have before actually, saying, welcome to your in-depth, Also, plenty of failed intros, but that's yeah. So if you want to support us there, you can get that there.
As always,
you were about to say.
1,000 downloads is a blooper reel. We've got to be close by now, right?
Yeah, I checked. We were actually, I think we were at about 600 into our
fifth,
working our way towards our fifth.
Yeah, so not too much longer now for another blooper reel, but that is every 1,000 downloads, and then once we hit 25 Apple reviews on Apple Podcasts, we'll do a live stream on whatever episodes we're covering at that time, or whatever part of a film we're on at that time, for y'all to interact with us, ask questions, give comments, distract us from our coverage. I mean, we do that enough as it is, but you guys could chime in with that.
Yeah, well, I do also want to say just the kind of an extra incentive about your reviews. We will read them on the podcast. We will read them word for word. Given that we can say all of those words without being canceled, we will, yeah.
Nope, so, I will read them word for word, no matter what is said.
Okay, that's fair. We will read them no matter what they say, but there may be some edits needing to be made.
Oh.
Either way,
we're gonna start deleting this one now. Then.
So let us know what you think. Do that. We have plenty of links via the flow page link in the description. So make sure to click that. Check us out on TikTok, Instagram. You can get our email there. Yeah, all these different ways to contact us, join a community, whatever. We got Discord as well. But I've rattled enough. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Deuces.